I now call George Adam to be followed by Ken McIntosh.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can I first welcome the budget from the Cabinet Secretary and agree with John Swinney when he states it's a budget to support our economy and vulnerable members of our community. The Cabinet Secretary quite rightly says that it deals with the challenges of our time, and it's because of these challenges that I would like to take at this point to talk about the Scottish Government's commitment to deliver Primary 1, Primary 3 free school meals and expand childcare. This is of course supported by children's charities throughout the country and welcomed by many. The budget confirms the funding for 2014-15 of £55 million over 2 years to expand the provision for free school meals and £59 million over 2 years to provide additional childcare places, taking the total additional funding for childcare to around £250 million over 2 years. From August 2014, all 2-year-olds in workless households will be entitled to 600 hours of free nursery education. This will benefit 8,800 children, 15% of 2-year-olds. This is all done in the backdrop of the limitations of the devolved settlement and shows that the Scottish Government is committed for families to be able to work, train and help our economy. From January 2015, all children Primary 1 to Primary 3 will be entitled to free school meals, saving families at least, as the Cabinet Secretary already said, £330 per child per year. This commitment means that from August 2015, Scotland will have 6.5% more hours than if we implemented the English system. It's good that Labour are getting it correct tonight and supporting the budget and backing free school meals at this stage in the childcare, but their lack of support previously is disappointing and probably will be remembered by the public in general. We can only transform childcare in Scotland with independence. It is the next step. And an SNP government and an independent Scotland will introduce a universal system of high-quality learning and childcare for children from age 1. The Scotland's Future White Paper sets out how we can transform childcare. By the end of the Scottish Government's first budget, we will provide 600 hours of childcare to around half of Scotland's 2-year-olds. Those whose parents receive working tax credit and child tax credit will benefit. By the end of the first Parliament, we will ensure that all 3, 4 and vulnerable 2-year-olds will be entitled to 1,140 hours of childcare a year, the same number of hours children spend at primary school. By the end of the second Parliament, we will ensure that children from the age of 1 to school age will receive this support. Continue to invest and improve life chances for all our young people and all the people of Scotland. You know, the Children and Young People's Bill is already going through the Parliament at the moment, Presiding Officer, and it will strengthen children's rights and set in legislation key elements of the Girfeck principle, getting it right for every child approach, to ensure that every child and family gets the support and help they need when they need it. It will also include elements to ensure better permanence planning for looked-after children. And recently, in Stage 2, we actually passed a part that the Children and Young People's Bill, the Scottish Parliament will actually be leading the way with comes to children and young people, with the fact that there will be added support for younger people when they leave care. And yesterday, Presiding Officer, was the 3-year anniversary of the death of Derek Mackay and my own political father, Councillor Jim Mitchell. And he was a young man, when he was a young man, was in care and split from his family. And one of the things that he always talked about was the lack of support that he had when he left care, and obviously that was a long, long time ago, but this world-leading opportunity will show that we will support and will help the next generation of young people who come through that system. You know, in one stage, Renfrewshire Council have actually talked about possibly naming one of their care homes after Councillor Jim Mitchell, and I would hope that they would actually keep that promise, because it could be an inspiration to a generation of young people who are coming through. But I welcome the Cabinet Secretary's ongoing commitment to 25,000 modern apprenticeships per year. You know, through a continued focus of the Employability Fund on young people and by maintaining financial support for employers, this will enable them to recruit and train young people and have the actual skills that these employers need. In 2014-15 and 2015-16, the Scottish Government is obviously going to implement the Post-16 Education Bill, which is going to give us the opportunity, or the Act, which is given the opportunity of one of the main things for all, widening access for all to our universities, ensuring that people that come from parts of my own constituency, like Ferguson Park, get the opportunity and the chances in life that other people do. It's about their ability to learn and not the ability of their parents to earn that gets them their place in university. And obviously part of that as well, that Act will be the principles of good governance for the university sector and significant changes in the way colleges are governed. Locally, this has been welcomed. The change in the new West College Scotland has been welcomed by Principal Audrey Cumberford, who said it's exciting times in the college sector and our new college provides a unique opportunity to enhance education provision in the West in an ever-changing economic environment. Our commitment, as always, is to change people's lives, create opportunities for our students and strive for excellence in everything we do. I think this is a perfect example, and she's in tandem with what the Scottish Government agrees. But the FE sector in general is ambitious about their future as well. John Henderson, the Chief Executive of Scottish Colleges Scotland, has already said the Scottish Government made a commitment to maintain college cash funding earlier this year, and we are very pleased that this has been incorporated into the draft budget for 14-15 and obviously in stage 1 now. We also welcome the additional resources that are being allocated to the college sector for 15-16.
You must be concluding, please.
Presiding Officer, this shows what the Scottish Government has achieved with this budget with the limited powers of devolution. We can only guess what we can actually achieve and make that life-changing difference to young people in Scotland if we get independence.
Thank you very much.